Hi guys and welcome back. I noticed that some of you guys don't come to my videos every day. I don't really get upset about that, I understand. I don't apply for the first place in your YouTube. So it's fine, it's still fine that you spontaneously come and watch my videos. So, yeah, thank you guys. And at least you came to this video. So, we are beginning. So I attaches roof and we go away from Mount Nebo down into the lowlands. And all the way I coach him for his part in the crafts I had in mind. I had away, idled away 2 months on the Florida coast and was feeling all to the bones the Leon. Besides having so many new schemes up my sleeve that I had to wear kimonos to hold them, I intended to assume a funnel shape and mow, M-O-W, a path 9 miles wide through the farming belt of the Middle West, so we headed in that direction. But when we got as far as Lexington, we found Binkley Brothers circus there, and the bluegrass peasantry romping, all right, into town and pounding the Belgian blocks with their hand-pegged Sabbats as artless and arbitrary as an extra session of Adana Brian Dumas. I never passed a circus without pulling the whale cord and coming down for a little Key West money. So I engaged a couple of rooms and board for Roofy and me at the house near the circus ground by a widow lady named Peavy. Then I looked Roofy to a clothing store and gents outfitted him. He showed up strong as I knew he would after he was rigged up in the ready-made rutabaga regalia. Rutabaga. Me and all Miss Fizgy stuffed him into a bright blue suit with a Nile green visible plate effect and revited, who knows, revited on a fancy vest of a light Tuskegee normal tan color, a red necktie, and the yellowest pair of shoes in town. They were the first clothes Rufy had ever worn, except the gingham Layetti, and the butternut top dressing of his native kraal, and he looked as self-conscious as an Igorot with a new nose ring. That night I went down to the circus tents and opened a small shell game. Ruhi was to be the capper. I gave him a roll of phony currency to bet with and kept a bunch of it in a special pocket to pay with his winnings out of. No,
I didn't mistrust him, but I simply can't manipulate the ball to lose when I see real money bet. My fingers go on a strike every time I try it. I set up my little table and began to show them how easy it was to guess which shell the little p was under. The unlettered hints on sorry, the unlettered hints what's that? Okay, unlettered hints gathered and a thick semicircle and began to nudge elbows and banter banter one another to bet. Then was when Ruffy out to have single-footed up and called the turn on the little joker for a few tens and fives to get them started. But no Ruffy. I'd seen him 2 or 3 times walking about and looking at the sideshow pictures with his mouth full of peanut candy. But he never came nigh. The crowd picked a little, but trying to work the shells without capper is like fishing without bait. I closed the game with only $40 of the unearned increment, while I had been counting on yanking the yeoman, counting on yanking the yeoman. For 200 at least. I went home at 11 and went to bed. I suppose that the circus had proved too alluring for Ruffy, and that he had succumbed to it concert at all, but I meant to give him a lecture on general business principles in the morning. Just after Morpheus had get both my shoulders to the shock matrice, I hears a house full of unbecoming and ribald no noises, ribald, like a youngster screeching with green apple colic. I opens my door and calls out in the hall for a widow lady, and when she sticks her head out, I say, "Mrs. Peavy, madame, would you mind choking off that kind of yours so the honest people can get their rest?" Choking off. "Sir," says she, it's no child of mine. It's the pig squealing. That young friend squealing. That young friend Mr. Tatum brought to home to his room couple of hours ago. And if you are uncle of second cousin or brother to it, I'd appreciate you stopping its mouth, sir, yourself, if you please. I put on some of the polite outside habiliments of external society and went into Ruffy's room. He had gotten up and lit his lamp and was pouring some milk into a tin pan on the floor for a dingy white half-grown squealing pig. "How is this, Ruffy?" says I. "You film flamant in your part of the work tonight and put the game on crutches. And how do you explain the peak? It looks like backsliding to me." Backsliding. Now, don't be too hard on me, Jeff says here. You don't know how long I've been used to stealing shorts. Shorts. It's got to be a habit with me. And tonight, when I see such a fine chance, I couldn't help taking it. Well, says I, maybe you've really got cle- kleptopia. And maybe when we get out of the pig belt, you'll turn your mind to higher and more rem- remunerative misconduct. All right, couple words. Remunerative misconduct. Why you should want to stain your soul with such a distasteful, feebly feeble-minded, feeble-minded, perverted, roaring beast, as that I can't understand. Why, Jeff, says he, you ain't in sympathy with shorts. You don't understand them like I do. This here seems to me to be an animal of more than common powers of ration and intelligence. He walked half across the room on his hind legs, a while ago. Hind legs. Could be. Hind legs. Well, I'm going back to bed, says I. See if you can impress it upon your friends' ideas of intelligence that he is not to make so much noise. He was hungry, says Rufi. He'll go to sleep and keep quiet now. I always get up before breakfast and read the morning paper whenever I happen to be within the radius of a ho, cylinder or Washington hand press. The next morning I got up early and found a Lexington daily on the front porch where the carrier had thrown it. The first thing I saw in it was a double column AD on the front page that read like this: $5,000 reward. The above amount will be paid and no questions asked for the return alive and uninjured of Bepo, the famous European educated pig that strayed or was stolen from the sideshow tents of Plinky Bros circus last night. Geo B. Tepley, business manager at the circus grounds. Interesting. Alright, guys. We're gonna continue tomorrow. It will be the third part. And see you then. Bye.